Well, hello and welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to do a video that was suggested by a subscriber of mine, and that is what would James Bond 007 wear? And there are many characters or actors that played James Bond, but the two of my favorite actors are Sean Connery and David Craig. Sean Connery because he was one of the first, and he has a lot of wit and a lot of smarts and is stealthy and is very good with the women. And then Daniel Craig, I like him because of his action, and also he's got a little edginess to him. So I think that's pretty cool of James Bond. Anyway, I have 5 from my collection that I think might fit the bill for a James Bond. And I'll let you know at the end which one I think I would choose for James Bond on top. Any of these would be good for him. He can pull it off. He could pull it off with any fragrance, even Club de Nuit probably. But anyway, on your left, we have Montblanc Legend. Next to that, we have Bulgari Man in Black. Next to that, in the middle, is Bleu de Chanel EDP. And then we have Prada Black. And last, Dior Savage. Okay, the opening for the Montblanc Legend. You get a neroli, citrusy, spice, and to me, a little bit of basilness. And the alcohol blast is really nice. However, that goes away after the perfumey alcohol wears off. But as you know, I like the alcohol blast in almost any cologne when you first spray it on, except for Club de Nuit. That's too much. And then on the opening for the Bulgari Man in Black, you open up with a sweet tobacco with spices and sandalwood. For the Bleu de Chanel, you open up with a citrus, spice, slightly sweet, a little bit waxy, powderyness to it. And then on the Prada Black for the opening, you get a powdery lavender, sandalwood, and kind of lipsticky kind of smell. Not in a bad way. It's a masculine type of smell. And it's got a modern smell to it. Nothing that harks back to previous generations of colognes. And then on your right, we have Dior Savage, the famous Savage, the one that's always up on top of the bestseller lists. However, there's a love and hate relationship with Dior Savage. There's the haters that say there's too many people wearing it, it's old, and it's a has-been, but it still sells a lot, so gotta hand it to Dior. And it opens up with a lemon spiced with amber and a little bit of pine. Now, on the settle down phase and dry down phase for the Montblanc Legend, it turns into an aromatic, spice, citrusy type of feel, and it ends up being kind of like a really nice shower gel. Not like a locker room shower gel, but something that would be a little bit classy. And then on the Bulgari Man in Black and the settle down, you get more of the sandalwood and then some spice and then a slight sweet tobacco in the background. And then on the Bleu de Chanel, as it settles down stage, you get a powdery, waxy, citrus, and spice blend. They're all mixed equally, and it turns out to be really nice. Very classy. And then on the Prada Black, you still get the lipsticky kind of powdery spice, and like I said, it's in a good way. On the Dior Savage, more of the ambergris comes out, and you still have that slight citrus in the background. It's very modern smelling. Now for the dry down, for the Montblanc, it would still be kind of like a nice shower gel smell. On the Bulgari, you get a woody with slight sweet spice and tobacco in the background. For the Chanel, you get an aromatic, classy, amberish, sweet citrus blend. And then the Prada Black, it's got an interesting finish in that it turns into more of an aromatic with some slight spice. Some of the lipsticky powderiness goes away, which is nice. And then on the Dior Savage, you get the ambergris and pine, and you just get a really unique scent that's worth the hype, actually. And on longevity, going back to the Montblanc Legend, of all of them, this is the least performing one. I would say on my dry skin, it lasts 2 to 3 hours. And it's got a low to medium sillage. This one you might want to consider overspraying or carrying around a decant bottle to do refreshes throughout the day or evening. And then the Man in Black, it lasts a little bit longer at 4 to 6 hours, which is good. And the sillage is good too. So it's pretty solid in performance. On the Chanel, I would say a little less than the Bulgari. You get 3 to 5 mid-range hours of performance, and you do get a good sillage. So that's a good thing. And then on the Prada Black, it's a good performer, kind of like the Bleu de Chanel. It lasts 3 to 4 hours, and it's got a good sillage. Now on the Dior Savage, it's some people consider beast mode. For me, it lasts about 5 to 7 hours on the skin, and it's got very good sillage. You'll get noticed for sure wearing Dior Savage. I'm not exactly sure if James Bond wants to get noticed. I guess it depends on the situation. If he's being stealthy and sneaking around and trying to surprise people, you might not want to smell a scent leading that there's going to be something bad happening soon. However, if he's out playing around in the casino, you might want to be noticed, and Dior Savage would be good then. On the masculinity scale, the Montblanc Legend, I give it a 7. It's a masculine smell for sure. And then on the Bulgari Man in Black, that is for sure a masculine scent. I give it a 9 out of 10. Bleu de Chanel, I give it a 7.5 because some of it's waxy and powderiness, but it's a masculine type of scent, and so it won't be mixed up with any women's cologne or perfume. On the Prada Black, I give it a 7. It's an interesting scent. And there's got a little feminine quality to it, a little bit lipsticky and powdery at first, but then it wears off more into an interesting finish, aromatic with slight spice. So I give it a 7. And then on the Dior Savage, because it's made to be very masculine, I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, let's come down to what I think our James Bond should smell like. Well, the Montblanc Legend is very good, but the performance is not all that great. So I probably not have that for James Bond. And then next, I would say the Prada. It's a good cologne, but it's got that little feminine quality to it, and I think James Bond is very masculine. So we'll take that one out. Now Dior Savage, these three are really good. I would say Dior Savage I would take off the list at this point because it's very unique and it's common by a lot of people wearing it. So people may look at you as, oh, another Savage wearer. Or if you want to be stealthy, you'll probably smell a Savage before James Bond sneaks up on you and does his thing. Okay, so we come down to Man in Black and Bleu de Chanel. It's a hard choice. Bleu de Chanel exudes classiness, and James Bond is very classy. So that's a good match for James Bond. But the performance is less than Man in Black, and there are some feminine qualities to it, but still masculine. But because of that, I'm going to take this one out. And what we're left with is Bulgari Man in Black. I think it fits him really nice. Of all the 5 fragrances that I reviewed today, the Bulgari is the most different smelling. And not different in a bad way, just kind of unique off to the wayside of some of the more common modern smells. And I think this has a classic tobacco-y, spice, and woody type of fragrance. And it's got good performance, but not over the top. And you definitely get noticed when you want to get noticed, and you probably won't get noticed when you want to be stealthy. So anyway, that's my wrap-up of the colognes that I think James Bond would wear, the Sean Connery, Daniel Craig version. And leave in the comments if you agree or not, or if there's another cologne you think James Bond should wear. Just leave a comment and subscribe and share to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you later.